Hello friends, welcome to my channel FinTech Logics. My name is Pinaki and I work as a product manager specifically in BFSI digital and data transformation. So let's look at business architecture of a supply chain finance. So what is business architecture? A functional diagram that one needs to keep in mind while designing a supply chain finance system. Now primarily if we look at all the supply chain finance system, it can be divided into four specific modules. So first one is your credit system or core system. So this is the core lending modules that we need for our day-to-day operations, as in originations and servicing. Along with that, with the supply chain finance, we would need some specific modules that I'm calling it as supply chain system. We would need a set of integrations with different third parties or other than the core systems that would help us in our operations. And finally, a reference data module or a master data management module that would be needed for smooth running of all the systems. Now, I will not talk about each of these modules in detail. Some of these would be self-explanatory. I'll just talk about specific modules that we need to know for these. So let's look at the core modules which are required. Now, if we look at the credit system, your application and customer are self-explanatory. So wherein a customer or a borrower would apply for registration and a customer module is created. Those are self-explanatory. Activities and transactions. So these are activities are basically I mean as non-financial transactions like account update and all. And transactions are financial transactions like your repayments, etc. We would need a due and payment module for generation of dues and collection of payments. Account in term is the loan account that would be needed for the bookkeeping purpose. For posting, so basically sub-GL entries, we would need a sub-GL system. For contract related items, bookkeeping, we would need a contract management. Delivery and SMS and email, which are required for day-to-day communications. Limit and collateral are joint units which would be required to define the limits of transactions. It might be your borrower limits or it might be transaction limits. Similarly, as supply chain finance would have some secured loans also in it, we might need a collateral module and the document module to keep the documents which are generated or received by different parties. Now, with the modern digital lending system, we need a mobile and web applications. So these are mobile and web applications for borrowers or for your sales agents, your field officers, etc. So these should be also part of your credit and core system. Now coming to the second module set, we would have your buyer and seller. As we know that supply chain finance system runs on the basic backbone of a buyer and seller and a contract and orders and invoices between them. So these are the four sub modules that we would need for supply chain system in additional to your core credit system. In some cases, we would need valuations because some of the cases orders and invoices would need valuations. It might be external or internal valuations wherein different kind of valuation steps would be done for these qualifying orders and invoices. Now with that we would need an integrations. So what are the integrations? So data integrators to collect data about the borrowers, that means your buyers, sellers, etc. Your payment gateways for collection of payments from external systems, your KYC that is needed for your borrower, supplier, etc. Delivery interfaces, OCR, which is your optical character recognition, because this is a supply chain finance is a document intensive system. In many cases, we get scanned documents like your supply goods and services, invoices, and other things. So those need OCR to decipher. Your trade bureaus check, as it is normal in any lending system. Some cases we would need GST or sales tax system, because this also acts as a very good data integrator for getting authenticity of the invoices and orders. And external GL and bank interfaces to have your subledger entries posting to GL, or the bank systems of your borrowers, that means your buyers and sellers. So for that we would need integration with GL and banking systems. In short, we would need reference data. So what are the major reference data? So what are the different types of loan products, your pricing or interchange rates, and there can be so many other types of reference data also that we need to maintain for smooth running of the supply chain finance system. So in short, we would need to keep in mind all these 4 modules or module set to design a supply chain finance system in detail. Now, as a product manager, we identify what are our minimum viable product modules. We create that, and as and when the sprint progresses, we go on adding these modules, enhancing these functionalities, etc. I hope my video would have given an overview of the business architecture of supply chain finance system. If you need specific modules in detail, please let me know in comment section. Thanks a lot for watching my video, viewers.